Councillor
You say that it's too big and too long to be scrutinised, but surely you will understand that the huge amount of effort, work and expertise, not just by councillors, but yes, indeed by officers. Officers who are highly paid and are people who have knowledge of this subject and have assured us that they've looked at every single angle. Surely that ought to satisfy you. That it is not, whether you like the decision or not, and councillors themselves have got their feelings about it, but at the end of the day, a decision is being made after a lot of scrutiny and thought has gone into it. Can you not see that? Will you not give the council at least the credit, even if you don't like what's happening? We are doing all the necessary research and investing a huge amount of expertise into making this decision.
I'm sorry, if you were buying a house, would you let somebody else tell you that they've read the contract and it was okay?
Well, you've asked me the right. I'm a solicitor, and I act for people buying houses, and I can assure you, many of the clients I have don't understand the contract at all and rely on, hopefully, my expertise to advise them.
Do you not walk them through the contract? Do you not walk them through the contract to make sure that they understand what they are signing their life away for? Then shouldn't somebody be walking you through this contract when you're signing away our lives for the next 10 to 15 years?
Supposed to be a dialogue, and I'll just say one thing in response to that, and my colleagues will agree. We have had a lot of meetings and some very, very thorough walking through issues about this. For example, last week we had a special meeting to discuss it. Well, we were at the town hall till after 11 o'clock in a 4-hour meeting, listening to, discussing with, arguing about the subject, the senior officers, and every single aspect of capita that you have raised and others have. You can be sure that many of us have raised with the same concerns that you have. But at the end of the day, a decision has to be made, and yes, we will walk through all the aspects. And if we make a decision, we're satisfied that the right kind of expertise has been invested.
What's that? But since you didn't ask the question,
do you not
no, I do not agree.
Yeah, that's the answer. Ladies, I feel sorry for you. Your arms might be aching there. You've seen the signs. You can stay all night with those signs up there, but we've seen them, so you've made your point. I think people at the back might be having their view obstructed, so I think you can sit down. It's up to you. I've seen them.
This sort of comedy is better heard.
Okay, fine.
Answer, you can be better than that.
Mike Freer did resign as financial director of the Icelandic Bank.
Councillor Rayner.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mrs. Jacobson, I will come to a question after a comment, if I may. You talk about 39 out of 40 people being against at a meeting you were. If we did a poll tonight, we would most probably get 80–90% against. But isn't it the reality of protest that those people who support a cause tend not to come out and protest against it? Such that you have a meeting that you're talking about, and you have a meeting tonight where purely the protesters who are protesting against it are coming out. Would you agree that those people who support the policy are not going to come out tonight in order to shout about it?
You overturned the 600 to 2.
I will tell you that the meeting I was referring to, the people at Woodside Park, came because they didn't know a thing about the One Barnet program. That more than half the people who came to the open public meeting at the Greek Cypriot Center came in response to the wraparounds that we had in the local press because they did not know anything about the One Barnet program. Otherwise, yes, people come out because they have a view. People aren't coming out because you have not told them about this program in the details that they need to be told so that they can take a view. And I wonder if we did a survey of all of you, in what detail you would actually know about all of this so that you could take a view.
Mrs. Jacobson, was that a yes or a no to my question?
It was a no to your question.
Thank you.
Speak up, please.
and I think, did anybody else have anything for Councillor Moore? And then we'll call it there, because we've got a lot to discuss, and we want to get down to the nitty-gritty of councillors scrutinising, is really what we're here for. Right, Councillor Litcham.
Thank you, Chair. Do you not think it's extraordinary that the only defence of the contract we've heard tonight is that it provides an IT system that we have to pay for and could get anyway?
I agree with you fully. I think not only that, but that a lot of the replies to the supplemental questions were so vague and so general that they didn't actually address the question that had been asked, and this is also true of many of the written responses.
Councillor Moore.
Mr. Jacobson, I have a question in two parts, actually. So I'm going to try and ask you two questions. The first question is, do you think that the problems that have been encountered in the past with things like street lighting and parking contracts have impacted on the concerns residents have about the ability of the council to let effect contracts? And secondly, actually, there's been quite a lot of discussion about consultation of the public about the One Barnet project. Do you believe personally that the budget consultations that have gone on have been an effective way of consulting the public on the whole concept of the One Barnet project and the outsourcing of these contracts?
In answer to the first part of your question, I do think that what has happened with NSL has impacted on people, and when they hear that more outsourcing is going on, they immediately make a connection with the parking fiasco. And they don't like it. They say this is one small contract. How can you bundle together all these other diverse services in a huge contract and hope to succeed when you haven't with this one? And your second question was?
Was whether every year the budget.
When you talk about how passive people are, that they don't come out, look at your surveys and how passive they are. You have to go through endless clicks on your website to even find that there is a consultation there. And then you read the consultation, and I wish I could have put my name on mine so you would have known where those angry answers came from. But the questions are rigged in a way that they do not actually survey what you're trying to survey. They ask you to rate 1 to 6 things that cannot be rated 1 to 6. Some things actually have the same level of priority. And when I got through to the end of this diabolical thing, having taken hours to actually read every bit of the document and refer to exactly the line where it was, even when it had 2 line numbers, I found a question about council tax. I thought, okay, here's a question I'm interested in. Do I want it raised? Do I want it not raised? Would I raise it by this much? Would I not raise it by that much? And I made my choice, and I made my comments, and I commented on the cynical way there was a reference to One Barnet at the end of this thing. And then later on the same website, I saw, we have decided not to raise the council tax. That's our pledge. Now that's a political decision to not raise tax, and then you consult me and ask my opinion. You've already decided not to listen to my opinion. So I not only have to dig through this damn website to find the consultation, and most people don't know to look for a consultation, so you're not really consulting anybody. But then I get asked questions where the decision has already been made.
Is it a yes or no? Yes, I think you agree with Councillor.
I agree with Councillor Moore.
That says something about your IT contract.
Last question, Councillor Thompson, and then the last question.
Thank you, Chairman. A very short question. I would like to thank Ms Jacobson for the contribution that she's made this evening, and just ask whether she feels that she's engaged with the scrutiny process with an open mind.
Quick answer. Really, yes or no?
Yes, I have. Have you?
can we